Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. I have 2 book hauls that I've done recently, and I thought today I would show you guys the books that I got. I spent a little bit under $100 and I got about 20 books, I think. So let's get into this haul. The first place that I ordered books from, I think it's called Book Outlet or something. I'll put it up here if that's not what it is, but I think it's called Book Outlet. And I got 8 books for roughly, I think that one was about $50 that I spent. These are not kind of like in the order that I ordered them, and I just kind of ordered them all together. So I'm not going in any specific order is what I'm trying to say. The first 2 books I got were both by Holly Jackson. The first one is Killjoy, which is the novella in the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, which I absolutely love. I have heard mixed reviews on the novella itself, but I just thought I'd give it a try myself and see what I think of it. Basically, this is a novella where Pip has to go to a murder mystery party, so we get to see her detective skills back in action. Sadie's tippy tappies. And I think this is set before the series begins. I think this is a precursor to the series. So I'm really excited to get into that. The second book I got by Holly Jackson is 5 Survive, which I've heard so many good things about. I can't wait to get into this book. And I'm definitely in this like kind of thrillery murder mystery mood, so can't wait. 5 Survive is about a girl named Red Kinney who is on a road trip with 5 friends. 1 is her best friend, 1 is her older brother, 1 is the girlfriend of the older brother, a friend from school, and then her like crush. And we know from this that their car breaks down on the way to wherever they're going. They have no cell service, and they basically realize that it's not an accident that this happened. They are being tricked into it. They have 8 hours until dawn, and so the 6 friends have to kind of figure out how to escape and figure out which one of them is being targeted, because only one of them is being targeted. It foreshadows a liar among them, and that there's a bunch of secrets between these people, and it tells you that only 5 out of the 6 friends survive, so someone's going to die. So that sounds so intriguing and so good, and I've heard a million great things about it. The next book that I got is called The Cruel Prince, which I think is a trilogy, and this is the first book in it. It's by Holly Black, and so many people have recommended this series to me, and I just never have picked it up. I can't wait to dive into it because I hear that it is definitely a 5-star series, and so I'm expecting really high things from this book. So the Cruel Prince trilogy is about Jude, who was 7 when her parents died, and she and her 2 sisters were stolen to live in the High Court of Fairy, I think. This takes place 10 years after that happens, and Jude wants nothing more than to just belong in this High Court, even though she's not from there. She's a human, and the Fae, which is like the fairies, I guess, the Fae despise humans, especially the youngest prince of the High King, which is, I'm guessing, the Cruel Prince. And so she has to kind of figure out how to fit in, and to do that, she must defy the prince. So we have to see what the consequences of that will be. Sounds super good. Next, I got Indigo Ridge by Devney Perry. And this is also another book that a lot of people have recommended to me that I've just never picked up. It is also part of a series, I believe. Indigo Ridge is a small town enemies to lovers romance. Winslow Covington believes in life, liberty, and the letter of the law. And as Quincy, Montana's new chief of police, she is determined to kind of prove herself to the community and show them that she didn't earn her position as the chief of police just because of her grandfather, who is the mayor. Her grandfather basically warns her that the way to gain favor with the public is to become good friends or get on the winning side of the Edens, which is a family that basically runs the town, is the richest in the town and one of the founding families of the town. But she had a one-night stand with the oldest, who she didn't know was an Eden, and that kind of shakes things up a bit. Then they find out that a woman has died on the Eden property, and so she, as the chief of police, has to go and figure out what's going on and puts her in the path of this oldest Eden. And I think that's who becomes like the love interest maybe. So I'm really excited to get into that. The next book that I got is They'll Never Catch Us by Jessica Goodman. If you can't tell, I have a little bit of a vibe going with these books. This book is about the Steckler sisters who are only a year apart but super different from each other. Stella keeps to herself and Ellie is really outgoing and has a big friend group and social life. The only thing that they have in common is they both run cross country. A girl named Mila Keene comes to town, and Mila was the top runner at the town that she came from. And so when she gets here, both of the sisters basically see her as a threat to being the best. Regionals is approaching for cross country and all three girls want to do good. And so all the girls basically vow that they're not gonna let anything get in the way of their future. But then Mila goes out on a training run and never returns. And no one knows what happens, but everyone's blaming the Steckler sisters. That sounds really good. I haven't heard anyone talking about this book, so I'm really intrigued to get in and find out for myself what I think of it. I'm trying to do that more, of finding books that aren't super talked about that I can enjoy, hopefully, because I feel like sometimes I get sucked into only reading books that everyone's talking about, and then I miss so many amazing books that no one's talking about. Another very talked about book is The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. I have yet to read a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book, but she has blown up in the past couple of years with some really great books apparently. So this book is about Avery, who has a plan for a better future. Her plan is basically survive high school, win a scholarship, and then get out of there. A billionaire named Tobias Hawthorne dies and leaves her his entire fortune. The catch is Avery must move into his sprawling mansion full of secret passages, riddles, and codes. And unfortunately for Avery, this Hawthorne house is also occupied by the family that was just disinherited from this inheritance, which includes the 4 Hawthorne grandsons. And the grandsons thought that they would be inheriting the billions, but then she does. Avery has to kind of play the inheritance games to figure out what's going on. Why was she inheriting this? And yeah, it sounds really good. I know that this is also part of a series or a duology. I can't remember if it's a series or not, but I'm really excited to get into that one. The next book, I love this cover. There's a freaking sticker on the front that I'm gonna try and get off. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, but it's called Belladonna. Look at that cover. She's gorge. And this is by Adeline Grace. This has a sequel to it, I think, called Foxglove. This book is about a girl named Signa who was orphaned as a baby and now she's 19. She's been raised by a bunch of different people. She has a big amass of wealth. And so each person that has taken on her guardianship basically wants her for her wealth. And each one has met an untimely end, it says. And her remaining relatives are the Hawthorns, which is crazy because didn't this just say it was the Hawthorne? I wonder if these are related. Probably not. They're by 2 different people. But this book also says that the relatives are named the Hawthorns, a family that lives in Thorngrove, which is an estate that's glittery and gloomy. The father, I guess, mourns his wife through parties, and the son grapples for control of their reputation, and then the daughter has a mysterious illness that she suffers from. When the mother's spirit appears claiming that she was poisoned, Signa realizes that the family that she was depending on is in danger from someone and enlists the help of a stable boy to hunt down the killer. And it says that Signa's best chance of uncovering the murderer is an alliance with Death himself, which is a fascinating, dangerous shadow who has never been far from her side. So definitely a fantasy vibe to this one. I can't wait to get into it. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The last book that I got from this specific haul is called Cover Story. Look at that. I love that. Cover Stories by Susan Rigetti. I don't think I've heard anyone talk about this book, so I'm really excited to get into this one. So this book is about a writer named Laura Ritchie or Ricky, I don't know. She's in NYU and has a summer internship with Elle magazine. She meets Kat Wolf, which is the editor and daughter of some kind of mogul, and Kat takes Laura under her wing and gives her projects and things to work on. The friendship emerges between the two, and Laura opens up to Kat about her struggles and her lost scholarship. And Kat's solution is that Laura should drop out of NYU and become the ghostwriter for Kat. Laura agrees and moves into Kat's house at a hotel, and her life basically switches from that to a nightmare quickly when she finds out that Kat's glamorous lifestyle isn't all that it's cracked up to be, and she finds out that the world that Kat lives in is really, really shady. And it's written in diary entries and emails and FBI correspondence, and it's just written so creatively that I can't wait to dive in and read something that unique, I guess. And I'm really hoping that it pans out to be a really, really good book because it sounds really, really good. So that is the first haul that I have. I cannot wait to read all of them. They all sound absolutely amazing. And I just know that I have some 5 stars in here. I have to have some 5 stars in here. It has to happen. So I'm really excited to get into them. I hope that the Lord is blessing you in so many amazing ways this week, and that you get to see his love shine bright in your life this week. I cannot wait to see you in my next video, and I hope that you've enjoyed this one and will follow and subscribe and hang out with me every week when I post new videos. And I think that this is goodbye, so I will let y'all go. Bye. The second part of this came from Half-Priced Book Outlet. So I, of course, spent $40, as one should, and got a bunch of books. I think we need a breather. That's a lot of books. That's a lot of books.